Which of these children is most like your child? Each one shows an attachment style. An attachment style determines how they react, trust, and connect. Attachment styles can explain why some children always seem like they're happy, some always need you really close by, while others push you away, and some always seem like they're trying to keep themselves safe. As a trauma therapist, I see this every day. Once you understand your child's attachment patterns, you can start to predict how they'll behave in different situations, and importantly, how you can respond to help them. Let's break down attachment styles and how you can spot them. Some children seem to manage stressful situations with ease, while others seem to erupt or break down at the slightest challenge. Some children seem like they need you around all of the time, never being able to do anything alone, while others push you away and won't accept any help. Even more confusing still are those children who jump from one presentation to the other. One minute they're showing you so much love and affection it can be overbearing, and the next minute they're pushing you away and telling you that they don't love you. What is this all about? Childhood attachment and the attachment styles that children have developed can explain all of this. Attachment refers to the psychological connectedness between human beings. If you haven't yet watched our video on attachment, be sure to check that out. All children will develop patterns of how they attach to those closest to them as they grow. These patterns or behaviours are formed in response to the environment around them. Essentially, this means that how a child is treated, cared for, and what they experience in their environment on a day-to-day basis will dictate the attachment patterns they develop. If a child receives love, interaction, and their needs are consistently met, they will likely develop certain attachment patterns. If a child is dismissed, criticised, and their needs are not consistently met, they will develop very different attachment patterns and behaviours. The attachment patterns a child develops are all to do with keeping themselves safe, their survival behaviours. Through research and testing, it's been determined that there are 4 distinct categories of attachment, called attachment styles. I'm going to explore all 4 attachment styles here, and we also have other videos that dive deeper into each attachment style. This is a great place to start if you're wondering which attachment style your child uses. Let's start with what the 4 attachment styles are. They are secure, ambivalent, avoidant, and disorganised. Secure attachment is the one that we would love all of our children to have. Avoidant and ambivalent are almost the opposite of each other, and disorganised attachment is exactly what it says on the tin. It's a disorganised style which changes frequently. Secure attachment is the style we wish all of our children had. Securely attached children feel safe and secure. They're comfortable showing and receiving love and affection. They feel safe in the world and safe to explore. If they encounter challenges or stresses, they will either manage these challenges or stresses well, or ask for help and support from someone they trust. This attachment style develops when children receive love and interaction, and their needs are consistently met. This consistency means they develop trust and safety in the adults that are caring for them. They feel secure in their care, hence they develop a secure attachment. Ambivalent attachment is also called resistant attachment. This attachment style can develop when children don't receive the consistency of care to develop a secure attachment. Children who've developed ambivalent attachment patterns are unsure if they're safe and their needs will be met. Because of this, they display anxious patterns of attachment. This often includes them being overly needy, demanding, or clingy. If others are around and focused on them, they feel more confident that their needs will be met. But they're highly reliant on other people for validation and for support. This attachment style develops through inconsistent care, where the child becomes unsure and therefore anxious that adults will meet their needs. Ambivalent attachment is an insecure attachment style. Avoidant attachment is also an insecure attachment style. This attachment style develops when children don't receive the interaction to develop a secure attachment. This attachment style is more to do with not receiving interaction rather than receiving it inconsistently. Children who use avoidant attachment patterns rely on themselves more than others to feel safe and secure. Because they haven't always received the interaction they need to feel secure, they look to themselves for support rather than others. They often find it difficult to ask for help or accept comfort, not trusting that others will help them. Children with an avoidant attachment are often more independent and have well-developed skills to look after themselves. This is where we start to see that many of the characteristics of avoidant attachment are actually the opposite of ambivalent attachment. This attachment style can develop from emotional neglect, physical neglect, or a combination of both. The final attachment style is disorganized attachment. This attachment style develops, more often than not, when the person a child turns to for love and support is also the person who scares or worries the child, causing them lots of anxiety. This causes an approach conflict. Children who use disorganized attachment patterns can be very unpredictable. They can be loving and want interaction one minute and reject it the next. There is a lot of turmoil and confusion that goes on behind a disorganized child's attachment behaviors, and this can lead to big behaviors and responses like large tantrums or aggression. Children who use disorganized attachment patterns have learned from their experience that the world is unsafe, and they have a lot of difficulty trusting in others. The 4 attachment styles are secure, ambivalent, avoidant, and disorganized. Which one is your child most like? Understanding how they attach doesn't just explain their behaviour, it helps you meet them where they are and start building the kind of trust that lasts. I've given you an overview and a comparison of the 4 attachment styles, but if you want to know more, don't forget to check out our individual attachment style videos. They've got a deep dive into each individual attachment style. Now, before I sign off, let me go through an example of how understanding your child's attachment style can really help you understand how they're going to present in individual situations in our trauma-informed care top tip. If you can understand the attachment patterns your child uses, you can really predict how they're going to respond in new or stressful situations. New and stressful situations are when the attachment system is going to activate. They're when the child thinks they need to protect themselves and keep themselves safe, and those attachment behaviours kick in. So let's look at an example of attending a new school. If we know our child's attachment style, we can predict how they will respond in this new school. If they have a secure attachment, they're likely to go with some confidence, feeling that they can make friends and feeling that they're in a safe environment because there's adults there and they know they can trust adults. Children with a secure attachment are likely to go into a new school feeling fairly confident that they can succeed. Because they have security in their relationships, they know they can make friends, they know their teachers will support them, and they know help is there if needed. Children with an ambivalent attachment are likely to feel a lot more anxious than a secure child going into a new school. New situations are very anxiety-provoking for them, and you're likely to see it in their behaviour. They might be more clingy to you, teachers, or friendship groups when attending a new school. Children with an avoidant attachment are likely to feel as anxious as those with an ambivalent attachment. They'll be worried about making friends, worried they can't achieve, and worried that support won't be available. But they will internalise this, so you're far less likely to see it. They're more likely to try to get on with things themselves and not ask for help. Children with a disorganised attachment are likely to be very anxious attending a new school. Because they don't know how to respond, they use very randomised behaviours. You might see big escalations or lots of distress, or you might see very little to begin with. Quite often they have a honeymoon period and then these behaviours come out later on. But remembering that they're going to be really anxious attending anywhere new is really important. You can see from this really quick example that each attachment style presents really differently. So being able to identify our child's attachment patterns will be able to help us predict how they're going to respond in new and unique situations. Remember to check out our other attachment videos and subscribe to Tribe for more trauma-informed care in practice.